I've learned more about learning a new language in 18 months of studying Greek than I did in probably 8 years of trying to learn French. From as long back as I can remember, I have never been good at learning a new language. While I don't really remember any French, what I do remember, many futile late nights spent studying in high school and many tears streaming down my face whenever I took a test and couldn't remember anything that I had studied. I also remember dreading class every day and also lacking the will and motivation to put effort into it when I got home. But it turns out I'm not bad at learning a language. I just didn't care enough about French to be intentional about studying it and actually trying to learn it. I pretty understandably had bigger concerns in high school. And by the time I hit university, I had just given up on learning a language. But in the summer of 24, after the end of a messy situationship, I decided I wanted to try something new. I wanted to learn Greek. Now, it's not actually as random as it seems. My best friend's Greek, and he's been encouraging me to move there for many years, so I decided to set my mind to it. Now that I've been learning for many months and voraciously consuming language learning content to make sure I got the most out of my time, I wanted to share the 5 things that I wish I'd known when I started. And one of these tips you may not have heard before because I've actually never seen it mentioned in a video. Not to say that no one has ever done it before. My first piece of advice, especially if you're in the US, if you're learning a language that's not Spanish or French, get ready for literally everyone to ask why you're learning it, because people will ask. I assume this question is inversely proportional to how many people are studying your chosen language. For instance, with Greek, literally everyone asks me. I've never told someone that I'm learning Greek and they haven't been like, oh, why are you learning that? The next piece of advice is pretty common just for learning in general, and that's that how you study is much more impactful than how long you study, because you really have to get a ton of exposure to the target language in ways that you enjoy. My 2 favorite ways to do this are listening to Greek music and watching Greek TV shows. For the music, just go onto your streaming platform of choice, and in the playlist search, just type in one of your favorite genres and then your target language. For example, I did like indie Greek or pop punk Greek or punk rock Greek. And then save the songs that you actually enjoy listening to, because again, this should be enjoyable. It shouldn't feel like you're actually studying. With the Greek TV shows, the first time I watch an episode, I'll have the English subtitles on, and after that, I'll just do the Greek subtitles and try to follow along, since I already kind of know the plot and what they're talking about. All of the language YouTubers that I watch like to talk about comprehensible input, and I'll put a little definition of that down below. And as someone who still does not have a great grasp on the language, this is one of the ways that I'm actually able to follow along with what they're saying. Third piece of advice, and this is the one I actually have not seen on any YouTube videos. It involves note cards, but it's the way that I've structured that learning time with the note cards that I think has really helped. That said, if you absolutely hate studying note cards, maybe give it a try, but if you don't like it still, don't do it. I'm a little freak and I love note cards. As I'm sure you've seen on other YouTube videos, spaced repetition is the way to learn new things through flashcards. I like to use Anki because it has the spaced repetition information built in. So what's worked out great for me is having 3 different flashcard decks, and I'll study those 3 decks every day, but there's a specific order that I go about it, and I think that's really what's helped me. So the deck that I do first is just standard vocab words. So tata, cat. Efaristo, thank you. Taleme, see you. Just the basics like that. Second deck are the verbs and verb forms and verb endings, depending on if it's I, you, he, she, we. And then the third deck, which I do after the other 2, that's crucial, has full sentences that use the words from the first 2 decks together. So it kind of helps solidify the knowledge that I got in context. So you just go through all of the words in the vocab, all the words and the verbs, and then all of the sentences. And this allows you to take the knowledge that you've been learning and apply it in a new way. And this really has just been a game changer for me. Fourth up is probably one that you knew was coming. Get a language tutor. You really can't replace the experience of speaking with and listening to a native speaker and getting immediate feedback from them. And nowadays with the internet, it's shockingly affordable. I use italki, but there are a ton of websites out there. Fifth and final tip, except now that you're going to suck at it for a very, very long time, I'm still not out of this phase yet. I'm not gonna lie, it can be hard to go day after day and spend time doing something that you're terrible at, but going back to the second tip, that's why it's so important that you're using content that you actually enjoy. And just know it's a part of the process that literally everyone trying to learn a language goes through. and just accept that it's good to be humbled sometimes. Going back to the advantages of having a tutor, they're actually able to tell you when you're improving, so you get that feedback that maybe you don't just get studying flashcards or listening to a TV show. It's encouraging sometimes having someone tell you that you actually are improving. So if I was starting a language now, those are the 5 pieces of advice that I wish I had gotten, and it would have sped up my language learning process. Instead, I just wasted 6 months on Duolingo. Okay, wasted is maybe too strong of a word, but I would only recommend apps if you're just kind of looking to dip your toe in and see if you like it. But for long-term learning and actually being able to comprehend a language, I would skip them. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Looking for a new streaming platform to listen to music in your target language? Check out this video I made about why I left Spotify and a much better streaming service suggestion.